everyone, welcome to 8 through 0 Amplified, powered by PleasantonExpress.com. I'm your host, Heaven Marquez, and today I have with me
James Martin.
Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, pumped up and ready to be here.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come and hang out with me. We do want to talk. We're in the middle of powerlifting season. How awesome is that?
Very busy. It's a good busy. It's a good fun. So just keeping my head on straight and making sure I got all my ducks lined up and keep plenty of notes to make sure I do what I need to do and don't forget anything.
Yes, sir. So you're the Jourdanton head powerlifting coach. So I know we talked a little bit about this off camera, but how did you end up in Jourdanton? What's your journey there?
So I met my wife 3,000 years ago, it seems like, and she's a Jourdanton girl. She was born and raised in Jourdanton, went to school there, Megan Shearer, and she came back home and found an amazing job at the hospital where she was recently the director of pharmacy, and we've made this our home. As my father-in-law says, it's where the mule died. So that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to set up, and this is our home. So we're really enjoying it, and I'm really enjoying it also.
So you said you started in 2012, right?
Yes.
What was your journey to actually becoming the head powerlifting coach, and what are all your responsibilities right now?
So I initially signed on as a baseball coach, assistant baseball, assistant football. Loved the weight room, loved the coaches who were in the powerlifting, and they really got me going and taught me a lot of things about the sport. And then I was immediately helping from that, and without a stipend or anything like that. I was always in the weight room doing what I could to assist all those teams. And then eventually, once the coaching openings started to shuffle around and that became available, I was put into powerlifting because Coach Andrus knew what my passion was, and so that's how I got to here, and that's my primary job other than elementary PE, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I lead the elementary PE right now, and I'm head powerlifting coach of a lot of talented powerlifters.
And you're also super involved with the Special Olympics, correct?
Right, and that's kind of a side thing that I requested to be part of. I drive them all their events. A lot of times I'll be on the microphone, coordinating, kind of emceeing, running the bracket, making sure that keeping the flow going, kind of being a liaison for the whole event, and really enjoyed that. As well as we've hosted for 2 straight years a powerlifting meet for the Special Olympics, and that has gone off as a huge success for the community and not just our school. And that's I think over 100 lifters the last 2 years, and the joy that the kids get from that, and the parents and everyone just is so amazing. I think I found a new passion right there.
Yeah, I remember going to this past one in December, and I was just like, there's so much talent over there. It's incredible to watch, and they're always so excited and they're so happy. And I have a great photo of a Somerset girl, and she's flexing on the podium. Like, that's amazing. I love it.
Those kids eat it up, and all of a sudden someone who just was in their shell and just not really wanting to be a part of it all of a sudden does that, and just their personality and spirit comes out for everyone to see. And I love it.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch. So let's talk a little bit about your time at Jourdanton. So again, you started in 2012. I know you weren't necessarily, right away into powerlifting there, but how has the athletic culture in Jourdanton, while you were still a coach in baseball and football, how's it shaped your approach to powerlifting?
I would say is to make sure that I'm inclusive to every sport and group going on. All these kids, especially at a town like Jourdanton, these kids are spread thin. They're all over the place. They're involved in at least 4 to 5 activities throughout the year, and just respecting that process and understanding that I need to work with other coaches. I need to work with the kids, with their parents, because I don't want to run off a kid and say, no, powerlifting is not for you because you're busy doing this. So I try to create an insanely inclusive environment that is flexible, and doing what's right for the kids, because we're a small public school, and I think we should be there to serve everyone and everything that they want to do, and not just what I feel is best for my team or me. And just make sure that really shapes me. And then because being a part of other sports and then coming into powerlifting, I just recognize that not your sport is not the only sport in the world.
Yeah.
And to tell a kid that so I love that part about powerlifting. I love how we're able to do that.
Definitely. Again, I was doing a little bit of research just to get ready for this podcast interview, and I had seen just an incredible amount of growth. Of course, I just looked up your name, but with that comes up 2019, and Garrett McDonald goes to state. And then from there, it's just a huge list of athletes that have continued to make it to state under your leadership. I do want to ask, how do you build a culture where going to state is really like the expectation rather than a surprise for some of these athletes?
I was lucky enough that the few years that I wasn't the assistant or wasn't the head coach, that there was already a culture in place. Enrique Lugo, Mark Bocanegra, Joe Estrada, they had already done that. And so and then it became the expectation really quickly. And then we did it again. And then we had some turnover. The program did dip, but then when it basically became back to me, I just was like, no, we're going to get back to here, and I'm never going to leave it. And I'm just going to always fight for our kids to have the best opportunities, the best equipment, or whatever we need. And a lot of that just goes to making sure that I have those kids at as many meets as possible. I want my younger kids at the regional meet. I want them, even though they didn't qualify, I want them to see it. I want them to feel that atmosphere. I want them to be hungry for that next year. And so for me, Garrett McDonald kicked that off, and Garrett went to state, but we had that Suburban loaded down with his buddies who then wanted to go the next year and were hungry, and it created so much of a vibe that was like, no, we do this. And now it's all, I get kids who don't want to lift because they're afraid they won't make state. So I've actually created the opposite problem. It's just they're like, but regardless of that, we do well anyways, and our culture is very wherever you're at, you're free to come in and go. But the best lifters know that we're going to do this. It's not a maybe. I'm a good lifter at Jourdanton. I will be going to state, and I really don't take that for granted.
Yeah, definitely. I know right now we're in the middle of the season. We're basically just kicking off now. But how do you keep a lifter motivated during more of the, I guess, mundane parts of the season, whenever they're not maybe hitting as many PRs as they'd like to, and they're just trying to maintain that to build onto state?
Talk about powerlifting being a lifelong sport, because it is, and it does have peaks and valleys, and sometimes those peaks and valleys as you get through it are years. And because I'm a powerlifter myself, I can speak firsthand to that. So when a high school kid who comes off the mountaintop of an amazing lift or amazing meet, and then their strength dips a little bit while we're building, I just remind them of these are the days to come. This is what's to feel. This is what we're going to next. And these are the days that are going to happen. Yeah. And I give examples of also their friends around them. And this is where part of the culture you just talked about of been there before. I usually have another kid, another lifter, another student who's already been there. And then they step in. And so if I'm not quite meeting the translation right, that kid helps me out and says, and then from a kid talking to a kid, there's always so much more learning going on. And so that's where, as an educator, I value that I have a support staff of students who help me and are on the same page.
Yeah. Going into that state meet environment, I'm sure it's crazy. I know it's I'm sure you never get tired of going back every single year to go support these kids. How do you really help your athletes maintain their composure while at this state meet? Again, I've only been to regular meets and I'm already overwhelmed. I'm like, this is so much. There's so much happening. It's insane, and I love it.
So I'm a goofball at heart. I really am. And the tenser the situation, the more I tend to become a child. And they feed off of that, and then they relax a little bit. And inside, I'm actually full of anxiety. My blood pressure is through the roof. I double my dosage a little bit, make sure I can calm down when I need to. But honestly, I realize that this is huge for them, and this is an environment that they most likely have not been in before. And so I act like I've been there before, and then I tease, I goof, we sing along, we turn on silly stuff on the radio on the trip on up and down there. We have fun when we go to the restaurants, and so just keeping it light, because at the end of the day, you're just going to go up and you're going to put weight on the bar, you're going to pick it up, you're going to put it back, and then we're going to walk away. And so, let's don't take ourselves too seriously, and let your training be just rely on that as to what got you here. And it's not necessarily going to have to be the whole hype and intensity, and that will come. And then we do have to flip the switch, and then all of us, but that helps too, is because I haven't been nervous the entire time. Then now when I flip my intensity switch, they know it's time for them to flip theirs as well. And so that tends to work out with most of the athletes. So that's another reason we've been able to do so much.
Yeah. So Coach Danilo Lugo and Joseph Hernandez graduated last year, and they were your state qualifiers this past season. So who do we have kind of up and coming right now in your program?
Well, Eric Gonzalez, he is an extremely talented lifter. He is pound for pound just absolutely killing it in the weight room and in competition. Derek Debo Solis is doing really well. He is full on committed. He's one of those kids who's just completely not only is he talented, but he's also just completely nerded out on the process. And so those types of kids always go far. Caleb Green Undo is doing really well. He is honestly one of the silent, hardworking. I almost forget that he's there, and use him as an example of technique. And Caleb is great. Amelia Garcia, she was a regional lifter last year. And also Amaya Loza, and those are the two on the girls' side that are just absolutely just solid lifters and really great kids for me to use as an example to especially the other female lifters who are new to the weight room.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So while we don't have any state returners, we will have a whole bunch that are going to be coming up pretty soon.
Correct.
Good. Awesome. And I know you mentioned something about going to a national meet this year. Is that something
right?
That's
So
new?
we've changed our federation from the TASPA to the USAPL. The USAPL is a national and global organization that power lifts, and they have local meets. They also have a state meet. And then they also, for the first time ever, are going to have a national meet in Texas. The national meet's always been in another state, but we don't have to travel that far this year, which is a big reason why I wanted to do this. Multiple reasons I wanted to change to the USAPL, but honestly, we're going to get our kids a chance to compete at a national level, kids from other states, and then hopefully that springboards them into understanding that this is beyond high school. Because that's a big thing for me. So I wanted the kids to realize that this isn't just Texas High School Powerlifting Association, and you can do this at the next level. Whether you go to college or not, there's no reason why you couldn't join this other organization, which is honestly a lot larger organization.
Yeah. Well, speaking of beyond high school, I mean, you yourself, you're still a power lifter.
Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I geek out on it. I love competing my entire life, playing baseball and football, and then when I got into the weight room, and then I was encouraged to go to a meet, and I did, and that was about 10 to 12 years ago, and I'm not a talented lifter. I don't have that weird genetic crazy strength, but what I do have is a really decent work ethic. And so I just show up every day and I continue to get stronger.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to go do things because of it.
Yeah, do things. You mean going to South Korea this past December?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was a lot of fun. It was a very long 2-year journey. Signed up for the South the regional meet in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Won that, and then that got me to nationals in Atlanta. Placed second there, and that second place finish got me invited to South Korea for the World Championships. Now this is all masters, still it's not like I'm competing against kids in their 20s. It's an age group, so between 40 and 50 years old, and but that was an amazing experience for my family. Getting to do that. The kids are like, okay, when's the next one? Let's. They want to get back on a plane and travel to a foreign country, and so now they associate my powerlifting with getting to go do things.
Yeah, so it's good now.
When it wasn't just Dad's in the weight room again. And now it's like, no, Dad, why aren't you in the weight room? We gotta qualify.
Gotta get on it. Come on.
Where's the next trip? So yeah, no, Korea was absolutely amazing. Getting to compete, I competed against 5 other lifters from around the world, Guam, China, alongside people from every part of the globe, and it's just I never thought I would get to experience something like that, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a naturally talented lifter. I just work hard, and so that's been big for me, and I'm proud of it. My family's proud of it. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you placed third, and that's incredible. I mean, I know that there are not as many people who get an opportunity to do stuff like that. That is awesome to be able to represent the U.S. and Atascosa County adjacent here now.
No, I was wearing my Chile bandera hat.
There we
go. No, it was a very unique experience, and I was proud to represent everything. Yes.
Man, that's incredible. So now that everyone knows what a great power lifter you are, and you're leading by example, of course, here with some of your athletes. And I remember being on the phone with you whenever we were discussing you going over, and I was writing the article about you, and you were like, man, I just want to, show the kids that they can do it. Does that still stand firm with you?
Even more so. I think that, especially me telling the kids, like, hey, you may not be as talented as this person over here, and it doesn't come to you as well, but this is a war of attrition. This is going to be, are you going to show up every day? Are you going to sleep right? Are you going to eat right? Are you going to train appropriately, or are you going to just get a big ego and max out all the time? Are you going to buy into the process? And so that's huge for me. And I like the where you can go in life just by having that mentality, not only just powerlifting, but in anything you choose to do, just as long as you're doing it with a lot of heart and a lot of the best intelligence that you can, you're going to go far. And if I can be an example of that, then that's what I want these kids to see in myself, that they can do the same.
Definitely. To start up our rapid fire round. So Coach, we'll just ask you a question, say the first thing that pops to mind. And, if you need to elaborate, if you'd like to elaborate, I'll definitely take that. I'm really interested in knowing
I'll let you ask me if I should elaborate.
Okay, well.
Because we'll see.
Some of them require elaboration if you want to explain. Okay. We'll start off easy. Okay. What is your go-to hype song whenever you're lifting?
That depends on the day. Honestly, anything Bad Bunny, Nueva Yo right now has been like what I'm clicking first.
Yeah.
And then, but if I'm gonna pull like a really heavy weight off the floor, I'm going to the slowest, saddest Willie Nelson song I can find. The first time I pulled 600 pounds was Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, which I don't know why it works. But if I'm walking in the gym, I'm blasting Bad Bunny.
Okay, so I'm guessing you loved the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes, I did. I was watching it. I was training in my garage, and I just replayed it during my training. I think I watched it twice while I was squatting.
Gosh. That is hilarious. I love that. Wait, can you speak Spanish or do you know some Spanish?
I pretend to. I can speak enough to get someone else started a conversation, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm faking it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm
Like,
doing.
I fooled you.
I say, sí, claro que sí. And they're
Oh
like,
my
yes.
God.
And then I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I fooled you.
It was too much. I'm a faker. I'm so sorry. That's hilarious. But do you know the lyrics to like the Bad Bunny songs?
Most of them, the clean ones.
Okay, there we go. That counts. Alrighty. Do you have any like superstitious routines on meat day? And it can be like
I think it's
yours
bad
or...
luck to be superstitious.
Oh, bad luck. That's new. I haven't heard that.
No, I try to, if I catch myself doing a superstitious routine, I tend to try to break it as fast as I can.
Really?
Because I don't like those crutches. I don't want to blame something on superstition.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's bad luck to be superstitious.
So
in my opinion.
So your superstitious routine is to not have
to not be superstitious.
I love it. That is awesome. Okay, if you weren't coaching powerlifting, what would you be doing?
I don't know. I was in the body shop industry for a long time before I shifted gears. It was because I started coaching some little league with a cousin or a little nephew actually, and I was like, man, I love this. And then so I don't really know. I would be doing something with kids in the school district somewhere because I love teaching. I love educating children.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned wearing your Chili Bandera hat over there in South Korea. Do you have a favorite pre-meet meal?
No, actually, I don't like to eat before competitions. I like to kind of go in hungry. Maybe if I'm powerlifting myself, that's just going to be salt and just maybe rice and chicken, just like the bare minimum what I need to have for that day. But honestly, I don't like to have anything on my stomach because I do get nerves. My blood pressure does get up, and I don't want that to be a distraction in itself. So my dad always said, play hungry, and he kind of, I don't think he meant it that way, but I just don't want anything distracting me.
So do you have a favorite post-meet meal?
Oh, anything and everything. You name it. Let's go. Like I love steak. I love all of it. It's all good. Sushi, oysters. Oh man,
sushi.
Just send me a direction. I'll be fine.
Oh, that sounds good. You got my mouth watering at like 10 in the morning. Great. So what is the funniest moment you've ever had at a meet? And this could be yours or one of your athletes. You don't have to call them out if it's embarrassing. But...
I will not call out the second state champion I ever coached.
Let me look through
only
here.
A few people will figure this out. He showed up his very first meet of his senior year so nervous that he put on his singlet and then put his squat suit on top of his singlet and was wondering why he was uncomfortable. And this kid was cooler than cool, didn't say a word, and when I caught him doing that, he was so insanely embarrassed. That one just jumps out because he was such a talented lifter and just so calm and cool and collective. To make such an epic freshman mistake was very funny. But honestly, I wish you'd prep me for that one because I've got more stories than I can ever remember.
Yeah, I'm sure. If you think of another one, let us know and we'll edit this back in. What is one word that your lifters would use to describe you?
That would depend on who you're asking. I would say, hopefully they would say goofy because in the weight room I try to keep it really light. But at the same time, depending on the day, it could be really intense and knowledgeable and too talkative. That's a tough one because I try to keep it mixed up just like my playlist. So. Mm-hmm.
And then, which is worse, the 15-hour flight to Seoul or a 3-hour-long bus ride with 40 sweaty high school powerlifters?
I don't miss coaching football and driving to Crystal City.
Oh gosh.
That is pretty horrible. That being said, that flight across the Pacific Ocean was very tough. Man. I don't want to drive to Crystal City again.
Okay, so
We're good.
we're taking the flight to Seoul rather than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what is your dream vacation spot once school wraps up? Now that y'all have had a lot of traveling now under your belt.
Ooh, I've got a former powerlifter and student who's an architect, and Jourdanton Mendoza. He's in Italy right now. His dad's been sending me pictures. Thank you, Jacob. And Italy looks absolutely amazing. I would love to travel to Europe. Me and my wife, we love Southeast Asian culture, so I really want to get back there as soon as I can. So yeah, no, I want to travel.
Yeah.
I got my passport. I want to see how many stamps I can put on it.
Well, maybe your kids are probably rooting for this, but your next meet will be over there somewhere in Europe.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and come talk with me about the powerlifting program. We really appreciate you being here.
No, you're very welcome. I'm glad we did this. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. Thank you so much for tuning into 830 Amplified, powered by PleasantonExpress.com. We'll see you next time. Bye.